Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech, your weekend edition of what's trending in tech and gadgets.
Hey, everyone.
We're here to bring you the top 5 tech stories buzzing this week, all served up fast and fun. Think of it as your tech cheat sheet for the weekend.
Yeah, we sifted through the news, the forums, the reports, trying to pull out what really matters.
Exactly. So let's dive right in. First up, Apple. There's some noise about their iPhone manufacturing over in India.
Reports are saying there's like a 50% rejection rate for iPhone casings made there. Half of them.
50%? That sounds huge, especially for Apple. You kind of expect perfection.
You do, and it definitely raises questions. What's going on with quality control? Does this impact that premium feel we pay for?
Well, digging into the Reddit discussion, some folks pointed out that, hey, a 50% rejection rate actually means the quality control is working, right? They're catching the bad ones.
That's true. It's not like faulty casings are just flooding the market. But still, that number, it makes you wonder about the process itself. Is it consistent?
Yeah, and people are definitely concerned this could dent Apple's reputation for, that flawless build quality. It's such a big part of their brand.
It absolutely is. Someone on Reddit shared an anecdote about being in meetings for foreign production, suggesting maybe standards aren't always what you'd expect globally.
Interesting. And another point raised was about Chinese manufacturers. Someone said they can basically produce any quality level. It just depends on the price you pay and the QC you demand.
Right. So it puts the focus back on Apple, doesn't it? What are their standards, and how well are they enforcing them with their Indian partners?
Then the conversation took a bit of a weird turn. Someone brought up dry labbing.
Yeah, I saw that. It's a term from the pharmaceutical industry in India, apparently detailed in a book called Bottle of Lies. It refers to, fudging data or cutting corners in lab testing.
So not directly related to iPhones, but used as an analogy for potential systemic issues with quality or data integrity.
Kind of, yeah. It taps into a wider concern, I suppose. We also saw people sharing their own experiences with outsourcing to India, mentioning needing a lot of hand-holding, quality issues cropping up.
There was also a more societal point made about how in some places parents might push kids into high-prestige jobs, maybe engineering or tech-led roles, even if it's not the best fit for the individual's skills.
Which, down the line, could potentially affect the quality of work coming out of some teams. It's a complex cultural factor to consider.
But it wasn't all negative, was it? Some users mentioned really skilled Indian contractors and teams.
Definitely. It often seems to depend on the specific company, the project management, the work culture. It's not a monolith.
And things are changing there, too. Like companies moving operations from Bangalore to Pune because Bangalore is getting too saturated, infrastructure issues.
Right. And you saw those anecdotes about communication breakdowns, like having to explain basic concepts or the tendency to say yes without maybe fully intending to deliver.
Yeah, that can definitely cause friction and impact quality.
But even with potential rework needed, the cost savings must still be significant for companies manufacturing in India. Plus, there's the huge domestic market and those import tariffs pushing companies to produce locally.
And as someone pointed out, India is relatively new to electronics manufacturing compared to China's decades of experience. There's bound to be a learning curve.
For sure. A lot to unpack there.
Okay, moving on. Story number 2. Maybe grab a tissue. Microsoft is officially shutting down Skype.
Wow, end of an era, huh? May 5th, 2025 is the date. They're pushing everyone towards Microsoft Teams.
Yeah, and a lot of people are, well, not happy, especially longtime users, OG users, who felt it was just a simple, useful tool.
You see a lot of frustration online. People worried about losing contact with family overseas, especially older relatives, maybe.
Definitely. And there was one really poignant comment from someone who used Skype to talk with their partner who passed away. They're scared of losing those chat logs, those memories.
Oh, man. That's tough. Yeah, it highlights how these tools become part of our personal history. And there's a feeling Microsoft isn't really considering that human impact.
People are scrambling for alternatives, especially for specific things Skype did well, like someone needed to keep their Irish VoIP number for work. How do you even port that?
Good question. And finding reliable ways to call international numbers or just regular landlines. It's proving tricky. Signal's great, but doesn't do landlines and is blocked some places. Google Voice is US only, Viber gets mixed reviews.
And Teams, the supposed replacement, people are already complaining it's complicated or they have login issues just for simple calls.
There were a few suggestions. My Tele for landline calls got a mention. And TalkRoute was highlighted as a business option that can port Skype numbers.
But what about people with Skype credit or those using Skype numbers linked to Alexa as their home phone?
Big disruption for them. And yeah, the unused credit thing, Microsoft apparently isn't refunding it, and people are, understandably, calling that theft.
Skype did say website calling will work until credit runs out, so there's that, I guess. But the dial pad, the web portal, gone.
Microsoft's line is that Teams is more advanced, performs better on mobile data, the corporate reasons.
People also mention open source options, maybe for the more techie users, and apps like White Calling or Planet Talk for cheap international mobile calls.
And someone made a good point. Skype was often surprisingly robust, even on really bad internet connections. Better than some newer VoIP services sometimes.
Huh. An old dog with some useful tricks left. Well, not for long, I guess.
Seems that way. It's a reminder that digital services don't last forever.
Okay, quick shift to hardware safety. Health Canada has put out a reminder, really, a standing warning about USB chargers, the kind you plug into the wall.
Right, specifically those ones. Not car chargers, not ports on power strips or power banks, just the little blocks that go straight into the outlet.
And the risk is?
Electric shock, burns, or even fire. It's apparently due to potentially inadequate separation or insulation between the high-voltage wall side and the low-voltage USB side.
Yikes. So basically, cheap, poorly made chargers could overheat or shock you.
That's the concern. It's a reminder that maybe grabbing the absolute cheapest charger off the internet isn't always the best idea. Prioritize safety, look for recognized certification marks.
Good heads up, something we use every day without thinking.
Exactly.
All right, number 4, who's got the thinnest phone?
Tecno just unveiled the Spark Slim, claiming it's the world's thinnest at just 5.75 millimeters.
Wow, 5.75 millimeter. That is seriously thin. Usually the camera module is the limiting factor, needing space between the lens and sensor.
Apparently, they still squeezed in a dual camera system and a decent 5200 mAh battery, which is pretty impressive.
It is. And it looks like this might be a trend. There are rumors about an iPhone 17 Air, a Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge maybe joining this thinness race. Tecno showed the Spark Slim at MWC 2025 too.
So how thin is too thin? Do you start sacrificing durability? Battery,
Yeah.
camera quality. That's always the trade-off, isn't it? Looks versus function. It'll be interesting to see how far they push it and what corners, if any, get cut.
Definitely one to watch. Okay, finally, let's talk GPUs. NVIDIA's launched the GeForce RTX 50 series, Blackwell architecture, big focus on AI and neural rendering.
Yeah, this is the big one for gamers and creators. The headline features include GDDR7 memory for much higher bandwidth. We saw 50 series laptops at CES already, promising better battery life too, thanks to new Q tech.
Better battery life on gaming laptops is always welcome. When can we get these?
Laptops are expected starting March 2025 from around $1,299. But the core tech, Blackwell, is all about leveraging AI for graphics.
Okay, neural rendering, break that down for us.
So it's things like DLSS deep learning supersampling. The 50 series gets the next version, presumably DLSS 4. It uses AI to upscale images, generate entirely new frames, and reconstruct ray trace scenes more cleanly and efficiently. Think AI making graphics look better with less raw power needed.
Right, so the AI smooths things out or fills in gaps intelligently?
Essentially, yes. Particularly with ray reconstruction, or RR. It uses AI, specifically a transformer model now, to denoise and improve ray-traced images.
And the new Blackwell tensor cores, they're optimized for AI stuff too.
Exactly. They support something called FP4 precision, which is a way of doing AI math that needs less memory, so they can run bigger AI models faster. They showed a demo of image generation being way quicker on a 5090 using FP4 versus a 4090 using the older FP16.
That sounds like a big leap for AI tasks. What about the specs on the first cards, the 5090 and 5080?
Impressive numbers.
Yeah.
The 5090 gets 28 GBps GDDR7 memory, hitting almost 1.8 terabytes per second bandwidth. The 5080 has slightly faster 30 GBps memory, but less of it, for 960 gigabytes per second bandwidth. GDDR7 itself has technical improvements for cleaner signals, too.
And better video encoding as well.
Yep, a new NVNC encoder with better AV1 and HEVC quality, some added format support, and a new ultra-high-quality AV1 mode, though that's also coming to the 40 series with slightly lower quality.
And all this is built with power efficiency in mind, especially for laptops.
Correct. Finer controls over power usage, especially letting that GDDR7 memory sleep and wake up faster. better max queue efficiency overall.
Okay, specs sound great, but what's the real-world reaction? What's Reddit saying?
Well, some early AI benchmarks from Puget Systems were interesting. The new cards weren't always faster in processing prompts, but they excelled at generating tokens, likely due to that memory bandwidth. Software might need tuning.
And for gaming, what's the chatter on the beastly RTX 5090?
Huge power draw, maybe 575W, loads of VRAM 32 GB, and a huge price, likely over $2,000. So overkill for most, but amazing for extreme workloads. There's debate comparing DLSS 4-frame gen to other solutions and worries about CPU bottlenecks.
So people with 3080s or 4070 Ti's are wondering if it's worth the upgrade cost.
Pretty much. And there's a lack of reviews for partner cards and solid pricing info yet.
What about the RTX 5080, the slightly more attainable one?
Reviews suggest a modest jump in raw performance over the 40 series, but the real gains are in DLSS 4 and ray tracing thanks to the AI boost. Some feel the focus is maybe too much on AI assistance now.
Concerns about power and price for the 5080 too.
Yes, definitely. Mixed feelings on whether it's a good upgrade from a 30 or 40 series card. Some are even speculating about a 5080 Super down the line with more VRAM.
Any early driver headaches always seems to happen.
Yep, some reports of issues. Advice floating around for 4030 series owners is maybe hold off on driver updates for now. Rumors NVIDIA didn't want reviews of the lower-end 5060 Ti 8GB, and 5070 reviews have been a bit on performance for the price.
So the 5090 is fast but pricey. The 5080 is a smaller raster jump, but big AI gains. Seems like the story is really about that AI focus.
Absolutely. The performance charts NVIDIA showed for AI top ES per frame, the comparisons of ray reconstruction quality. It all points to AI being the key differentiator for Blackwell. The spec tables confirm the hardware evolution, too.
So an interesting launch, powerful, clearly pushing AI forward, but maybe not a clear-cut must-upgrade for everyone just yet, depending on their needs and budget. We'll need to see how drivers mature and games adapt.
Exactly. It's a transition point for sure.
And that's our whirlwind tour of the week's biggest tech stories. We covered Apple's Indian manufacturing hurdles, the looming end of Skype, the USB charger safety warning, the skinny smartphone race, and NVIDIA's new AI-powered GPUs.
Quite a mix. From global supply chains to the software we use daily and the hardware powering our games and work.
So that's it for Bite-Sized Tech this week. If you enjoyed our deep dive, definitely give us a like, maybe drop a comment with your thoughts on these stories.
Yeah, share it around and subscribe if you want more of these tech breakdowns. We love hearing what you think.
Absolutely. Until next time, stay safe with those chargers, maybe pour one out for Skype, and keep exploring the amazing world of tech. See you next week.